and then the bugs at night time would get into it, and so I know what cistern water is. A cistern is a place, a thing that's dug in the ground to take the place of a well. Where people doesn't have a well, then they get a cistern. In other words, a cistern is a man-made tank or a man-made well in the ground. That man dig out to catch the water, to use it. Some of them use it for wash water, and some use it for drinking water, and different way. Maybe all the water sometime that we used to get was on a cistern. Used to have an old thing that had to wind around to get the water up. Had little buckets on it to pump the water out of the cistern. Well, we notice one thing about a cistern. It's different from a well. Now, a cistern will get empty. The cistern cannot fill itself. It's not reliable. You can't rely upon a cistern. It has to rely and depend upon the rains that fall in the summer or in the winter, whatever it is, usually in the winter time. When the snow and rain comes, then it runs the water off into the cistern, and if it doesn't get that water, then you don't have any water. It's all dries up, and it can't refill itself. The old cistern cannot refill itself. It gets its filling from the rains that falls. And I want you to notice another thing about a cistern. Usually, you find, or the way it was at our place, a cistern, usually the barn's about twice the size of the house, and they usually run the water off the barn to the cistern. I remember that old cistern well out there when the drain pipes rushing into off the barn. It fills from the barn, so then the water is carried from the roof of the barn, where all the animals stepping around through the stable yard, and all the filth of the barnyard settles on top of the barn in dry times, and then the water comes and washes it all down off the roof into a trough. It's man-made, then into a man-made spout, and then into a man-made cistern. If you haven't got a mess, I don't know what you got when you got a cistern. Yes, sir. It's all man-made and just as dirty as it can be. You know, we had a filter rag on one. Did you ever know what that was? Had to put a filter rag on it to catch all the bugs and things that come off the top of the barn and all around the place and pour down from one place to the other into the cistern. And we used to put a filter rag on it to catch all the scum and stuff that we could. Of course, that wouldn't catch the real dirt. It just caught the big missiles that come down and fell into it. The bug might fall in it, but the juice of the bug went on with the water. So you really had a mess when you had an old dirty cistern. In a few days, you let that water stand there, and it becomes stagnated. You let the water stand in the cistern, it becomes stagnated. And it gets full of frogs and lizards and snakes, and we used to call it wiggle tails. Little bitty, I don't know where they're, not a parasite, they're, I don't know what you call them, but some little thing gets in the water that we called it wiggle tails. You know what it is. How many knows what I'm talking about? Well, sure, all you country folks know. Gets it all full of stagnation. And then these lovers of stagnation comes with it. It just actually comes because it's stagnated. And because it's stagnated, it draws the animal there that likes stagnated things. That's a whole lot like our churches today. I think that we have left one of the great sins that the church has done today, just like Israel then. It left Him, the fountain of living water, and has hewed themselves out man-made cisterns. And it become a habitation of everything that loves that kind of water. Lizards, frogs, and all kinds of unclean germs live in it because it's a man-made tank. And in this tank, these things stay. A perfect example of our denominational today. Now you say, Brother Branham, Why do you strike at those people so hard? It ought to be struck at. It's got to be struck at. Flee it, because it will finally form the mark of the beast. Amen. Remember, that is the truth. It will be the mark of the beast. Denomination will lead right to it. It's on its road right there now to force by power. Look in the old Roman Empire, that's exactly what led them to that mark of an apostasy. You found out that no man could buy or sell without the mark of the beast. You had to have it. There's only two classes of people be on the earth, those with the seal of God and those with the mark of the beast. Only two classes. So you'll have to have one or the other. It'll be an apostasy, a mark of religion, apostate religion. And it's going to have an image unto the beast. As we study, we find out that Rome was, is, and always will be the mark of the beast. Exactly, there's no way to get anything else. Rome. And what did Rome do was converted from pagan Rome unto papal Rome and organized a system, a universal system that forced everybody to that one religion or be put to death. And it's a strange thing that this United States appears on the scene, and it's like a lamb, and a lamb has two small horns, civil and ecclesiastical rights. And after a while, when that was a lamb, we found out that it spoke then like a dragon and exercised all the power the dragon had before it. And the Bible tells us that they said, let us make an image unto the beast. An image is something like something else. And we can see it right now that in its apostate condition, the church is forming the World Council of Churches, which is the image to the power of Rome and will force upon the people the same thing that pagan Rome did, or papal Rome did. So there's no other way, no other thing, but that is the truth. And that's why I'm striking it in my age, in my time. Because it's got to be struck at. The call coming to come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins. Now, I'm liking that to these dirty, filthy cisterns. He is the fountain of life. He is the living waters. And man leave that and dig for themselves cisterns, which can only catch the filth. That's the only thing it can catch. And that's what denominationalism does. It catches everything that comes along. It wants to join. They're willing to take it in if it's got some money, or can dress in a certain way. No matter who they are, where they come from, they take them anyhow. Now we find again that this mark of the beast that was formed here, America is numbered 13. It was born with 13 colonies. It had a flag, it had 13 stars, 13 stripes. And it even appears in Revelations, the 13th chapter. And America has always been a woman represented on our coins. Even the Indian head on a penny is a woman's profile. We know that, know the history of it. Everything, the Liberty Bell and everything else, the Liberty, Statue of Liberty is everything a woman. A woman number 13. See? Now, it's beautiful to see those things. And now I have predicted